Hello and welcome to Hooded Sweatshirt Weather, my favorite time of the year. This is the Daily Chakra Show, and my name is Jeff. This is the show, in case you don't know, where we take the principles of yoga and apply them to life and try to make life better. So we are live right now. It's just about 11 a.m. on Sunday, September 14th, 2014. What up? So, what's the Daily Chakra Show? It's where we take the chakras, there's 7 of them. So one for each day of the week. Today is Sunday. The crown chakra talks about connecting with God and the universe and all that good stuff. So basically we've been working our way all week up to this moment right here, Sunday. What's up with God? Let's find out. So those of you who have been watching over the past couple weeks, we've been diving into this book. What is God? I don't know. Let's read the book called God by this fella, Deepak Chopra. So this week we are talking about a fella named, well, to recap last week, we talked about St. Paul, and we learned about the concept of salvation versus consciousness, which I found was the most interesting, probably, topic so far that we've discussed on the show. If you haven't seen that episode, I'd encourage you to go back and watch that. Salvation versus consciousness. I found it really fascinating. This week we're talking about a fella named Shankara, and his take is life is but a dream. So I want to just read some excerpts from this chapter, and then we'll get into some nice stretches. So life is but a dream. Let's find the part where I wanted to... Okay, so 12 centuries ago, Shankara declared our entire life is spent not understanding reality. What we take to be real is a walking dream, one from which we must awake. Shankara was not trying to make people feel that their lives are worthless, though. He held that once awake, having freed ourselves from illusion, we could master reality. His arguments were powerful that he conquered all comers in debates that ranged the entire length and breadth of India. Basically, the guy went around half-naked debating people about what reality and God and our purpose is, and he basically kicked butt and got all these followers and was pretty famous. So, where do we want to go? Okay, a student asked him once how to overcome the fear of death. The student was in great fear of mortality and urgently wanted an answer. Your problem is that you think you were born. Whatever is born must die, and this knowledge gives rise to fear. Look inside. Try to imagine non-existence. You cannot, as hard as you try. That's because reality relies beyond birth and death. Realize this truth, and your fear of death will be no more. Pretty interesting. I think that it means, going back to previous weeks, know thyself. We learned from Socrates. Know that you are God, basically, or, the energy is the same, and you won't be afraid to die because you'll know that you are creating everything in your life. Right. The next part I wanted to get to is on this page. Okay. We could veer into a long distance. Wait, no, I want to get to the science part in a second. First, I wanted to say, la 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 la. Okay. It may seem that Shankara is reducing everything to the subjective. Actually, he's raising awareness above crude facts. Experience is far richer than the data that science uses to explain things. In a court of law, you cannot objectively prove that chocolate is delicious, even though it totally is, or why you feel that the woman you love is the most beautiful in the world, yet it hardly matters. Only consciousness can explain consciousness. What we experience is real for us, uniquely and mysteriously. To someone with agoraphobia, or a fear of open spaces, it doesn't matter that open spaces are harmless or that going outside is pleasurable. To the phobic person, anxiety is anxiety. Shankara is saying that consciousness is self-sufficient. It creates the world as a sleeper creates a dream. Life is a dream. The problem is that we have forgotten that we are such powerful creators. Shankara invites us to remember this again. We could veer into a long discussion about science here because science depends entirely upon objective facts. Subjectivity is considered unreliable, wayward, and far too personal. But after all the arguing, we only wind up in Shankara's clutches, because modern science has deposed the physical world entirely, which is his main point. So here we're getting to the good stuff. Quantum physics has reduced the physical world to an illusion. The physical world is an illusion, says science. Atoms, the building blocks of a material universe, are not solid objects. They are a whirl of energy that is invisible and has no physical properties like weight or solidity. In turn, the energy, the electrons moving back and forth, the energy winks in and out of existence, returning to the void that is the origin of the cosmos 1,000 times a second. In this void, there is no time or space, no matter or energy. There is only potential for these things, which means that life is but a dream and we're creating it. But we'll just bear with me a second here. All right. Blah, blah, blah. So basically, science agrees that nothing's real and it's all a dream. It's getting pretty exciting. So just hang on one second. Okay. It kind of makes me want to sing and dance, knowing that since atoms are not even real, that my thoughts of negativity aren't real, and I'm creating them myself, which means that I have the power to switch that up and make my life awesome. Okay. When someone becomes enlightened, 3 great realizations or awakenings are involved, like the 3 stages of waking up in the morning. The first is, I am that. What does it mean, I am that? Remember Socrates, know thyself, know that you are the same as God, basically. I am that. I am not a self-bound body trapped in a brief space between birth and death. I am made of the same essence of God. Okay, so Shankara is saying the same thing as Socrates. What is that essence? It can't be put into words. It is, quote, that. This is a highly personal experience, as all epiphanies are. But Shankara isn't bothered by the subjectivity of such an astonishing revelation. To stub your toe on a rock is just as personal, just as subjective, and just as much a product of consciousness, meaning your brain is creating the pain that's you're getting from stubbing your toe, right, bro? The second awakening occurs when the divine is seen in someone else. I am that expands to you are that, you guys. This widening continues until the whole world is consumed, leading to the third awakening. All of this is that, meaning all of this is God, all of this is me. I have my own perspective, which means I have my own parallel universe that I'm living in, which means I'm creating my own reality. It's awesome. Once the entire world is experienced and divine, once the entire world is experienced as divine, one enters into a state of unity consciousness. There is nothing that is not yourself in its pure essence. Shankara was established in unity consciousness, and that is his claim to enlightenment. Can such a state be faked? Blah, blah, blah. We can skip this part. Potential is infinitely flexible. A God of potentiality doesn't need to be obeyed, feared, or placated. He exists to unfold anything and everything. Blah, blah, blah. I like that part. Okay, here we go. Now we're getting to the part where life is but a dream, yo. Psychologists recognize a kind of ultra-realistic dream state known as lucid dreaming that cannot be distinguished from being awake. While having a lucid dream, you are there fully with all 5 senses operating. Then comes the first hint of waking up. Perhaps you are immersed in a jungle adventure, running from a tiger. You feel its hot breath on your neck, when suddenly the faintest notion occurs. This is just a dream. At the same time, you know that no one made the dream but yourself, which is why it holds no danger. Same can be said about your waking life. Shankara describes a permanent state that this is very similar, in which you fully participate in the world, but you faintly know that you are dreaming. This so-called state of witnessing is the Vedic version of what Jesus, for all you Western people, names as being in the world but not of it. To me that means don't sweat the small stuff. You're in the world observing it, but don't take it so seriously. Like if something bad happens, know that it's meant for you to learn from, dude. It is a very desirable state because you become creative instead of passive. Basically, you're in charge instead of being a victim. Poised on that edge before you wake up from your jungle adventure, you know that the dream belongs to you. Suddenly, you are an author. Some lucid dreamers can even re-enter their dream, willing themselves not to wake up. They can do this because they are, after all, authors of their dream. Here we go. In this way, you are the author of your life. It may seem that all kinds of outside factors hem you in denying your authorship: disease, aging, forces of nature, social rules, and strictures, ultimately death. But Shankara asks a simple question that explodes these external limitations. Has anything that ever happened in a dream actually hurt you? Kind of like the bad stuff. You're going to learn from it, not like wallow in it, like, oh, I'm a victim. When you wake up, the whole dream is gone. Tigers, angels, demons, pursuing enemies, and voluptuous lovers. Sorry, they're actually not real. All share the same unreality. The good news is that you are the true author of your life, with the capacity to make anything happen. But to arrive at mastery takes time. They teach you to use your mind instead of allowing your mind to use you. So to me, I think now let's get into some stretchies. We're going to do a twist. So right over left, getting good grounding with your right hand, and inhale, grow tall, and exhale, come on over like so. So to me, you know what, I heard this concept in one of those audio CDs that you listen to that get you pumped up for life. You're the creator of your own life. Now, we've all heard this before, but we don't really seem to care. To me, this means, well, from what I heard from this other guy, and it kind of plays in with this lesson, is that you're the creator of your life, yes. And so what this guy is saying is that you create your life. It's like a dream. Another thing that I heard is that you create everything anyway. Whatever happens in your life, you're creating it, and good and bad. Now, I know it sounds weird, but look at it this way. You have a unique perspective, right? That's something you can't argue with. Your perspective is unique. So everything that happens to you, you have a reaction and an opinion. And so your reaction is creating different emotions inside of you. Your reaction is creating opinions and ultimately your worldview. So you are deciding what is true and what isn't, just like the agoraphobic guy who hates open spaces. To him, it doesn't matter that it's harmless, really. The reality comes from within. Your consciousness is really all that matters. So remember last week, consciousness versus salvation? They're not opposites. I think that they're two sides of the same coin. You can create your own salvation or enlightenment through your consciousness. So if you have to take the reins, though, you can't become passive, like he was saying, become an author instead of being passive. If you really want to, you can evaluate your own thinking and your perspective to make it work for you in such a way that whatever goal you have, knowing that life is but a dream, you can make it happen through changing your thinking, changing your habits, changing your actions. So if there's something that you want in life that you don't have, this is another quote that I heard, without judgment or being upset about it, know that it was me responsible all along for not having created it yet. But the good news is that through conscious action you can create it. So I think it's important and beneficial to look at it that way. Life is but a dream. We heard about these lucid dreamers that are taking control. These people can like fly and do all kinds of Superman stuff in their dreams. So no, you're not going to be able to fly in real life. But knowing that you are basically creating your reality just as if it were a dream can help you, because if you focus on the things that you want, you can have them come to manifest in real life. So it's pretty sweet knowing that. Go back to Socrates. Know thyself. I am God, basically, the creator of everything. Now, we were all in the West brought up to know that we are born in the image of God. Okay, so what does that mean? It means that you're a creator too. So looking at life as if it's a dream is awesome, because you are the author. Any dream that you have, you'll agree, you are the author of that dream. So why not look at your waking life the same way? It'll help. It can help. So for me, why listen to me? Who's this bald idiot talking? Well, I think, I got my dream job at least once, and it's pretty sweet. And now I'm on to the next thing, and I'm doing things that I want in my life, like going to improv and talking to cute chicks all the time. So I don't know if are if you have things in your life that you want to do and can't seem to figure out how, maybe take Shankara's advice, which is realize that you're the author of it, just like a dream. So you row your own boat, bro. You know what I'm saying? See what I did there? Okay. So I think we can meditate on that now. Setting the timer for 5 minutes. I invite you to sit up nice and tall. And I'm going to get my Kush. Um, Now remember, normally I say that meditation isn't spiritual, it's for your brain, but today is the spiritual day. So meditation is spiritual right now. Know thyself. I am God. Um, I can reach salvation through consciousness, and life is just but a dream, which means I'm the captain and I can steer it in any fashion I want. So that is the mantra for today in the Teish. So sit up nice and tall. Let the breath become nice and easy. Take a nice inhale and exhale all the breath out. If life is a dream, I'm creating it. I'm creating it anyway, so maybe life is a dream. Sometimes it feels like a nightmare. But the good news is, if I change my point of view and say that I'm creating the nightmare, it means that I can turn it around. I can either be a creator or I can be a victim. Most of the time, I am a victim. But knowing what I know now, I can choose to be a creator and just have everything be awesome. And sure, bad things are going to still happen. But remember what we said before. Anything bad is just an opportunity to learn. So, using my consciousness, I can decide what direction to take. I can turn my nightmares into the greatest dreams ever with voluptuous lovers. Remember that part? Maybe you don't want lovers. That's okay. I don't really care about lovers right now, personally. But it feels good to know that I am in control. And in my opinion, God would want me to believe that about myself, which is something that I never really learned or heard growing up. But now it's pretty sick. So, fresh. All right, nice deep breath. Nice job today, guys. Good take. Um, yeah, so I hope you like today's lesson. Remember, you are the author of your own dream, right? So if you look at life like it's but a dream, then you're no longer a victim, you're creating it. And if it's hard to believe that, oh, I'm creating my own life, look at it this way. You create your own opinions and viewpoints, which is creating your worldview, which is creating your world. So you are, in fact, the author of your own life. And so, okay, that's some kind of esoteric, non-usable thing. No, I think having that attitude is better because otherwise you're a victim and you have no control. But if you have the viewpoint of I am in control, then you can make anything you want happen by putting time and effort into it instead of being afraid. So that's it. I think it's awesome. Next week, the subject is Rumi. I've heard of that guy. I don't really know what he's all about, but we'll get into him. And that's it. So don't forget to subscribe up to the channel. You can do that by clicking on the little red button that says subscribe below the video. That way you'll get updated every day when the new video comes out. Usually it's going to be just after 7 a.m. on weekdays. Maybe one day we'll get weekends to that point, but I'm still kind of in party mode. So that's it. Again, my name's Jeff B. If you have any questions, put it in the comments or email me, jeff@dailychakra.com. And if you're still watching this, I congratulate you. It means you're awesome. Here's what I want you to do. Email me, jeff@dailychakra.com. Put in the subject, free 15-minute consultation, meaning a yoga consultation or a chakra consultation where we can figure out which is your weakest one and create a plan to strengthen it. And you'll get that. You'll get a free 15-minute consultation with me. Put it in the subject of your email, jeff@dailychakra.com, free 15-minute consultation, and you will get just that. We'll do it over Skype or whatever. Or if you're in New Jersey, maybe we'll meet up. So how about that for a free bonus for watching the video all the way to the end? Yeah. All right, so that's it, babies. Make today awesome because it's a dream anyway, and you have the power. Know what I'm saying? Respect.